I didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time with Coach Henson, but the time I did spend with him and Mary and Lori, it was real easy to figure out how wonderful people they were. I mean, that's what sticks out to me more than anything is just the type of people that Coach Henson and his family were. The time that we spent together, I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
I guess, Coach, what do you feel like his legacy is, not only at New Mexico State, obviously it's very good there, but just kind of across college basketball, had a long coaching career and seems to be kind of highly revered across many circles.
Yeah, revered is a wonderful word to describe Coach as. I think if you talk to former players, former colleagues of his, that's a word that sticks out. It's a word that is used prominently when talking about Coach Henson because he is and was revered by many people. I mean, our fan base adores Coach Henson, and deservingly so. I mean, if you think about what he did in the coaching profession, it's unheard of. He's a rare breed to lead two teams to Final Fours, to have your name on the court at two different institutions. Says a lot about not just his coaching acumen, but the man that he was and how he impacted people's lives, certainly his players, the coaches he worked with, and even the fan bases. Because anyone that's had interaction with Coach, I mean, you feel leaving like, wow, I mean, he really likes me. I mean, he made me feel good about what we're doing. And, it was a sad day, but I'm sure people that know him well and know him best are sad, but at the same time, what a life he lived. I mean, 88 years, and his coaching history and where he started and what he's done. He led a very remarkable life.
Coach, can you talk about just his impact with the program specifically for New Mexico State?
I mean, he's the all-time winningest coach at New Mexico State. But hear what I'm going to tell you, not just on the floor, off the floor. I've been coaching for 28 years at a lot of places. I've never been anywhere where fans talk about a coach like they do Lou Henson. People love that man. And, if we were to fly our Aggie Nation flag today, it would be at half staff. It's a sad day for all of us. Certainly, like I said earlier, I would have loved to have the opportunity to know him better, but the interaction I had with him and his family, I'll cherish forever. Just a kind person. I love talking to his ex-players when I've had the opportunity to run across them because he's got this reputation as such a good person and a great man, but they tell tales of how tough he was on them. And I love hearing that as well, to know, how he coached his team, but how he interacted with everybody else in this kind manner that he had down pat. So it's a tough day, and he'll always be remembered as, the best coach in Aggie Nation history. And, if you multiply that for what he did for the Fighting Illini, like I said earlier, what a remarkable life as a coach and more importantly, as a person.
Yeah, you kind of brought it up a little bit. Just what is maybe like a favorite memory that you have of kind of just your personal interactions with him?
Well, that's easy. I get the job and obviously call him first or second day on the job, and we're going to meet. We're going to have breakfast. And, he's like, hey, Coach, let's have breakfast at 6 a.m. And I'm like, hey, what about 7? And so we have breakfast, and he's there first, and I sit down at the booth, and he's in a coat to meet the new Aggie coach. And he's got a legal pad with a pen and paper, and we exchanged some pleasantries, but within 2-3 minutes, he's going through the whole roster that I inherited and talking about the personnel of the players. And then we get into philosophy of coaching basketball and what's important. And I'm looking at this man going, wow, he's 84, 85 years old, and he knows the team like the back of his hand, and he's not coaching them on a daily basis, and he wants to talk ball with me. I'm thinking, there ain't no way I'm doing that when I'm his age. There's no way I'm going to be playing bridge or bocce ball or hopefully golf. And I was starstruck because I grew up in Iowa in Big Ten country. So I know him as the Fighting Illini coach, wearing the orange coats. And he had tremendous teams, Final Four teams like he did here. But it was more relevant to me growing up in the 80s when he was with Illinois. And so I was like a kid at a candy store just getting to spend time with him. But I walked away feeling really, really small because of, he told me tales of scores that he remembered winning state championships when he was at Las Cruces High School. And I'm like, I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, Coach. And he was talking about boxing one defenses that he employed. And it's something I'll never forget the rest of my life. I just got to spend a couple hours with him that morning. We had a breakfast, but all he wanted to do was talk about basketball. And just the way he handled himself and knowing, what he had done professionally, it was an amazing couple hours, and I'll never forget it the rest of my life. Everybody good?
Those are those Illinois teams with the Flying Illini with like Kendall Gill and all them, right?
Yeah. I was, high school, college age kid when he had some of his better teams with Illinois and the Fighting Illini. Like you mentioned, Anderson and Stephen Bardo and Kendall Gill and Kenny Battle, and they made the Final Four, I think, in '89. Obviously, he made the Final Four at New Mexico State in 1970, and that's a rare feat. To take two teams to a Final Four and to have your name on two different courts. And he did it over a long period of time. And he just has so much respect in the business from the older generation and the newer generation that had a chance to be around him and watch his teams and know him. He's very revered. It's a word that's used often when describing Coach, but it's real. And he's left a legacy that will never be forgotten.
Yeah. Anything else for Coach?
I'm good.
Good.
Right. All right, guys. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for working me on time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.